Okay, so this is map 2 of Rogue versus EnvyUs. I messed up the VOD. I'm sorry, everyone in chat. Um, Kings Row. Rogue is up 1-0. They just beat EnvyUs on Anubis. And we're going to take it from the top. Both teams are going to wind up running standard cookie cutter comps McCree Reaper Zarya into McCree Reaper Zarya. So the Hanzo that he's running right now is just going to be used to scout at the beginning. And that's that. Let's pretend nothing happened. I need to make sure the YouTube is up to date, and like I did this yesterday where I messed up the YouTube recording and I just checked. At least it's only like 2 seconds in. Like, I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry. I thought that he was gonna stay on Hanzo, but he doesn't. But like, watch what happens. See, he's right here. His whole team is at the choke, and then watch, they get a kill immediately. Like, where's timeout? He's in spawn. So like they're fighting without him, and like this is literally their downfall. Like they're just down a player. You're fighting 5v6. Like, what do you expect to happen? So here's Tavik just gonna chase the Zenyatta up the stairs. Gets the kill on Chips late, and then their spawns are a little bit staggered, and good to go. Alright, we're back to where we were. But they just didn't wait for timeout. Maybe they thought he was gonna stay on Hanzo, but he like didn't. If you're gonna do that strat, it's better to like have a Roadhog, because at least if you have a Roadhog, like you can use a scatter arrow to get a pick. Maybe like you'll see someone turn a corner and they're not expecting it, but they didn't do that. So this strat, they're pretty much just balls deeping in. This is like kind of bizarre to me. I guess they're trying to run it as if it was the first push, where like they just want to get a kill or two. Because if you can get a pick on the defense on this map, your spawns are much closer for offense. So every kill that you get in the first push is huge, because like you can take your entire team into the first point, get like 1 or 2 kills, and just team wipe. Like you can trade 6 for 2, maybe kill like the Zarya, kill the Reinhardt, and that's like kind of your game plan. Is like, I'm just gonna kill the Reinhardt, I'm gonna kill the Zarya, and then my entire team's just gonna die. And it'll work out because your whole team will spawn together. They'll spawn together fast, and they'll get to the point before the Zarya and the Reinhardt that you had just killed. So even though like you lose the fight, you still get control of the point because of where the spawns are. So I think that's like kind of what it looks like they're trying to do. Like they're just gonna bubble in players and try to get kills with them fast, but it looks like Rogue held pretty well. There's no real advantages, I guess, in these comps because they're both running mirrors. So it really comes down to like shield usage from the Zaryas, like shield placement from the Reinhardts, and stuff like that, like flashbangs. So this is just Rogue out deathmatching EnvyUs at this point, because EnvyUs is on the offensive. But I can't like stress enough like how well AKM played this entire time. Like, there we go. Like, Wynn's just got 2 kills. So Wynn's at 60% Zarya ult right now from that one fight, and Internet Hulk's at 30. So like Rogue is in a really good spot right now to put up a good time, because they have Transcendence and EnvyUs does not, and EnvyUs is about to have it actually. But the Reinhardt advantage is huge, and so is the Zarya advantage. And this was a best of 5. I think he expected a flashbang there. I would assume he expected a flashbang. I think AKM got killed, so like he misses the Earth Shatter there, but I don't think that was like, I don't believe that he actually just went for that. I think that he expected AKM the flashbang, but AKM got counter flashbanged. I think what happened was Reinforce expected the flashbang from AKM, but Timeout predicted it and then flashbanged AKM and then kills AKM before he gets flashbanged. So like in your head, it's such a small timing where what happens usually is you'll throw the flashbang, the enemy Reinhardt will like look up in the air and try to block it, and while he tries to block it, you Earth Shatter. It's like split second, and it's like very hard to time, or like it takes a lot of practice to time, I guess. So if that small window never opens up, which it didn't because AKM didn't get the flashbang off, he's not going to hit the ult. It's Reinforce, it's not Reinforce. Reinforce is wrong, and they said it a lot actually. It's Reinforce. Because like if he blocks the flashbang and then gets his shield down, you're not going to get it off. Like, you're not going to get the ult off. But if he puts his shield up and you ult at the same exact second that he puts his shield up, he's either going to get flashbanged or you're going to hit the Earth Shatter. And either of those scenarios, you get the Earth Shatter off. So like missing that very, very small timing window can lead to what look like bad Reinhardt ults. Does that make sense? So like if he expected AKM to hit that or throw it up and he didn't, then it just throws off the combination. But it's not that big. It doesn't wind up being that big of a deal, I guess. Timeout pops High Noon here. They're in a really good position, Rogue, though, still, because they have defensive ults, because they won the first two fights pretty handedly. So like Nox got his ult, Unco still has his ult. He pops it there to not die to timeout. That's probably the play. But they don't get any kills with this Transcendence, so if you're EnvyUs, you're pretty happy about that. They can take a fight right now, EnvyUs, and probably just run them over, unless like Wind hits a really big black hole. Ooh, that was a good Earth Shatter. But it didn't kill, it didn't stop AKM, I guess. AKM still got his High Noon off, it looks like. But yeah, I would expect EnvyUs to win here just because of the fact that they have so many they have like way more defensive ults. So like what was really good for what was really good on that last fight, like the fight where they lost, was that they got all of the spell, like they got all of the defensive ults off from Rogue. Like in this fight, Nox and Unco both didn't have they didn't have Drop the Beat and they didn't have Transcendence. They were forced out the previous fight. But then this fight, EnvyUs actually didn't use either of them when they forced out them from Rogue. So this fight they had both and Rogue had neither, and they just capitalized on it way better. Like this was never going to be a one fight for Rogue just because they didn't have Drop the Beat, they didn't have Transcendence, and they also didn't have Earth Shatter. Like there was no win condition there for Rogue except for like EnvyUs like royally fucking up.
Especially through Death Valley, Tivik has switched. They're going to get rid of the Reaper. They're going to be picking up a Genji instead. Team EnvyUs going to be
I don't know if it clipped the corner if he got bubbled, but he didn't get affected by it at the end of the day. I think he got bubbled though. It looked like he got bubbled. Rogue has Transcendence here, so that's pretty good for them. You want to engage here if you're Rogue because you want to take a fight before the cart gets around the corner. Because you can lose this fight and still get back to defend the second point of the objective. Or like the second half of the objective, I guess. Or the second objective. They're just overloading ults, which is good. It's not bad actually, because they're killing them and they're staggering them. Like none of these kills were back to back. Like 2 players are now alive from EnvyUs, and then 3 are still respawning. So they have so much time now, and look at how much the card actually rolls back so fast. I don't think people realize how fast it rolls back. Like it was at the top of the bookstore, and now it's almost going to be back in the choke. Like you don't want this to happen if you're on offense, obviously. But now EnvyUs has the defensive ult advantage, and I don't know if I like Taimu using his ult there, but AKM, I don't know how he does it. It didn't show him, but like he just always hits his High Noons. Like every time he hits it, he like gets a kill or two, and it always blows my mind because I feel like it's like one of the hardest ults to use. But they always put the camera on him, and he always gets a 2K. His timing is just really good on the Deadeye, and I think that that's like very impressive to me. That he just sneaks around, gets these High Noons off. Oh, he was behind. Okay, so that makes sense. They weren't ready for it. But that's just good heads up play from him. So they lose this fight, right? But the cart's very far away. I would expect Rogue to be able to get back to the cart before it caps. And that's kind of the beauty of taking a fight that far up. Rogue has Black Hole, Rogue has Earth Shatter. They don't have support ults, which is kind of a big deal. Chips has Transcendence, so they're not going to be able to really win this fight because of Chips' Transcendence. But we'll see. I mean, they might try to anyway. Although Tailspin's going pretty deep right now on this Genji. Him not dying there was really big, and it really just came down to the fact that Chips had Transcendence. Like, they dropped the Black Hole, but they weren't ready for the Transcendence. So Chips' Transcendence kept his whole team alive through the ult combo. I think they dropped the beat. I think they black holed and Earthshatter at the same time there. The good news for Rogue though now is that they have both of their support ults, so as long as they don't use both of them, they should be fine. Like they're actually doing really well on time right now. Rogue is. Like this is a lot of defensive time that they're putting up. Like 6 minutes and they only just capped the second checkpoint is pretty good. You have to be happy with that. But right now I would say like you should probably try to engage them with your Transcendence. Which they do, it looks like. Yeah, they popped a Transcendence. Tavik gets Coco. I think that this is a mistake. They might win this fight. For sure. Like, they're going to win this fight. But the next fight, they're not going to have Drop the Beat or Transcendence. And EnvyUs is going to have both. So, they had gotten the kill on Coco already. I don't think you drop the beat here. I wouldn't have dropped the beat here for sure. I would have definitely said that this is a mistake. I mean, I'm going to say that this is a mistake. I think that if they had kept drop the beat, they'd be in a way better position for the next fight. Because if you look at the ults right now, like EnvyUs is about to get both of their support ults. They have a black hole. And Rogue just blew both, but was Rogue going to lose that fight? Like, it doesn't look like it. Everyone on Rogue is full health plus the armor from the drop the beat. So it's like very, I feel like that's just a mistake. I don't think that they needed that Lucio ult. Using both at the same time, like, okay, you wiped them here, and you might feel like you're doing really well right now. Like, you're like, wow, guys, we wiped them. But, this next engagement is going to be a lot harder for them. I expect them to get completely trampled right now. Ooh, that's a good high noon. I mean, it's lucky, I guess.
Providing a lot of extra coverage, providing a lot of extra pressure to, you know, the likes of Tailspin, the likes of Taimu, and most importantly, Chips, who's been having a...
What is happening? How did that happen? Just Acam and Unko getting kills. Acam just got another high noon kill that he shouldn't have got. Like, you see that? Like, he just always shows up and gets these kills. I guess the silver lining here is that they didn't waste... I'm actually so surprised that they didn't just roll them over there. Like, they got that kill on... I don't know what just happened. That was really weird. They got that kill on TV so fast. And then they still lost. I think that high noon got too much work. The ults are pretty even now. Rogue's actually in an ult advantage. I would say that they have to fuck up pretty hard here to lose. This camera work is giving me a headache. Like, I actually have no idea what's going on. So what happened? EnvyUs dropped the beat, it looks like. They had to have. They went in with drop the beat. Rogue defensively popped Transcendence to defend. That's fine. Winds popped defensive Winston ult. That's fine. And now the fight's just going on and no one's dying. This kind of favors EnvyUs, I guess, because nobody died and Rogue needed to get kills with both of those ults. So yeah. They keep switching camera point of views from team to team to team, so like you can't tell who's actually killing who. So like, let's pause. I think Coco just got a charge kill off on TV. That's really big. They dropped both defensive ults again though at the same time. Like I think that that's just a mistake. Like they're losing the fight now and they just use both ults. Like just use one and then die and then have another one to defend the capture, like the actual capture. Like when there's like people trickling out of spawn. Like if you all trickle out of spawn at the same time and drop the beat, like that's super overwhelming. Like EnvyUs only has they don't have Zenyatta ult, but they're close. But EnvyUs is winning this push right now solely because of better deathmatch and having more people alive. So like popping drop the beat and Transcendence in the same fight and not keeping everyone alive is really bad. Like this is a very bad position for Rogue to be in because they're just dying one by one and they don't have any defensive ults right here. Like Reinforce has to come up big with an Earthshatter, but like you can't like anticipate a really good Earthshatter. Zoning high noon, this will slow them down. The Winston goes in to try to knock people out of the AO. Oh, that missed. That was really weird. I expected that to get a kill, but it didn't. Internet Hulk pushing him into spawn. That's really good. They're just controlling the cart right now. But this is what I mean. Like, they're trickling out, but they don't have any answer for the... Like, they don't have any defensive ults, so like, they're not gonna do anything. And yeah, that's you kind of expect that to happen at that point. But that was a really good defense from Rogue. Like, you have to be happy with that. 8:45, like, that's pretty much almost that's almost like a hold. Like, 15 more seconds and they would have held them. So like, that's very good for them. I would be happy if I were them.
Especially when EnvyUs are 41 wins, map wins, and 6 map losses on this over the course of their history.
41 and 6.
41 and 6. Pretty insane. I mean, that explains, right, why they're 57 and 0, but 41 and 6 in this map is one of their best maps, actually. And I think, honestly, Rogue need to respect the initial defense at EnvyUs. It's going to be very tough to dismantle this, to kind of pick it apart piece by piece. Because EnvyUs are one of the few teams left, I think, in the world that can actually put up a full defense on the first point.
So if you're Rogue, then you don't go for the really aggressive...
I mean, you guys are like talking about them being qualified to analyze. I mean, some of them were definitely qualified to cast. Like, they're definitely not bad.
The fact that EnvyUs gets away with this against
They're just not analyzed. They're not analysts. Like, analyzing is a different monster than casting. Casting is completely different. Like, I could not cast. Casting requires me to like get hype and like super excited about shit. Like, I'm not that kind of person, but I could definitely talk about what's going on like pretty well. I think Rogue. I mean, Rogue winds up winning. I don't actually know who wins what map. To be fair.
I don't know if it'd be an Ana, but it is at least a Junkrat for Tailspin here. This is something we thought that we'd see from Rogue on the defense here from Tvik. Wasn't the case though. It's worked well for Tailspin.
Is this a troll comp or what? What's going on here? This might be a troll comp. This might also be down like their downfall. EnvyUs is running a very damage heavy strat. Like, swapping out a Zarya for a Junkrat is ballsy to say the least. Junkrat's really strong at controlling the hotel area and spamming, so like he kind of just shuts down hotel completely and forces teams to have to come here through the small, narrow, like short side of the fountain or the long side of the fountain. It's just an interesting pick. Most teams aren't running Junkrat anymore. Junkrat kind of disappeared when Pharah became popular because Pharah just naturally destroys Junkrat because Junkrat doesn't have any anti-air. And yeah. Rogue, I'm assuming they're not going to stay on this comp, but we'll find out, I guess.
So they want to go the Hanzo strat again. Okay. Well, we did see time to do it on the attack initially. It did net a couple of hits with the scatter arrow, but it wasn't enough to pick off anyone. Tvik, though, kind of, funny enough, he actually tries to focus on the tanks as well. He tries to take the shield down at Coco as soon as he possibly can. But again, the problem that comes into this is that, well, he's playing Hanzo. You're very immobile when you're trying to shoot. And that allows Tailspin...
Is he going to stay on this? He's going to switch. So they're running this Ana. This isn't a comp for an Ana, I don't think. I think if you run Ana, you probably want like Reaper or Genji. Maybe he's gonna switch to Genji, I don't know. But I don't know that this is good in this current with like what they're doing right now. I don't know if this is good. I like Ana for sure. Ana's a great hero, man. Like, Ana can shut down... Like, Ana's a really good hero to combo a Black Hole with. Because, like, if they pop Transcendence, you just, like... You can completely remove it. And, like, Transcendence is the counter to the Black Hole right now. And, like, just ults in general. And Ana's the counter to Transcendence. So, like... She got ult already. Like, so fast. That was, like, 30 seconds. This is like a pocket strat, I guess. Like, they knew that this was going to work like this. That was a good play by TV to dodge that flashbang, but now he's getting cocky. Ooh, that was cocky and it worked out. Internet Hulk just hit a fat headshot right there. Like, that was RNG at its finest. I was really lucky that they defended, and by lucky I mean like it was just well played. I think Internet Hulk hit a lot of shots, and they didn't really deal with him. I don't think that Tavik needed to chase Timeout into that corridor. I think Timeout was out of the fight. But Unko is about to have ult again. Like, he's about to have this Ana ult the second time in like a minute and a half. Tailspin's gonna pop this tire, which slows them down. Like they have to worry about where the tire is, because tire can like ruin anyone's day. But that's good. And there we go, another Ana ult onto reinforce. However, Coco has Earth Shatter. Okay. That first push needed to work. Because it didn't work, they were able to get Coco's Earth Shatter up. And the easiest way to counter an Ana ult is to Earth Shatter whoever's Ana ulted. So like they pretty much just countered the combo right there. Reinforce missed his ult, I think. And Coco hit his on Reinforce. So yeah, like they just blew Ana ult and Reinhardt ult. And EnvyUs popped Transcendence. I guess they dropped the beat too. They popped everything on EnvyUs. So it's not the end of the world, but you don't have Transcendence on Rogue. Like you're really, really dependent on these Ana ults getting work done. And when they don't get work done, it's pretty disheartening. The good news is that they'll have dropped a beat for the next fight. And EnvyUs doesn't have anything. Like they just emptied the tank and dropped everything down. But yeah, they just countered the Earth Shatter. They just used Earth Shatter to counter the Ana ult, and like that was really good. But they committed to this comp, and I don't know why. Like it's interesting. Like it's definitely new, and they weren't running it. Like he's now like, all right, Ana's not working. Let's go Zenyatta. But it's kind of late. Like if they don't make this black hole into drop the beat work, it's very bad for them. So Taimu's just gonna use his ult here to slow them down. That's really good. It's just buying time, and all you need to do is buy time. But they have drop the beat, Death Blossom, and Black Hole right now, and if they get this combo off, they should win the point. But that was a pretty bad Black Hole. But it works out, I guess, because it forced everyone to go in Hotel, and when they went in Hotel, AKM got the high noon off and got someone that came in through the back. So, like, pretty much they just threw all their ults down and it worked out. And, like, that's fine. Like, the caps, that's good. Whatever. If that black hole was better, it might have been easier, or they wouldn't have had to expend so much, but, upside. So they just got punished. TV can't be that far out. This is pretty bad for Rogue right now that he just died there, actually. Because if you're on EnvyUs, you want to hold this choke like that. You want to hold this archway. Let's bust out the production value. Like, you really want the cart to stay... Where is it? What is happening? Working. You want the cart to stay like here. Like, if the cart can park right here, you're happy. If the cart gets through here, like if the cart gets to this corner, like right here, it's very bad for Envy, because if you lose a fight when the cart's here, it can roll all the way to the checkpoint at the end in one fight. But if the cart gets stuck like from here to here, like this area right here, then you're okay because you can get team wiped here and still get back to the cart for the next fight. So for them to have killed Tavik now means that holding this area right here is pretty easy for them. Or it's a lot easier than it would have been if you were alive.
Yeah, man, EnvyUs just back around this corner for the moment now. Rogue will be gathering themselves. We saw what they did on defense. They wanted to fight all the time. And the only thing better than a team...
So they'll probably speed boost in here and just try to take a fight. So they'll zone with this high noon, speed boost in. And look, the cart's just stuck here in this exact same spot. They're just like, okay, we're holding it here. He pops the high noon. Alright, so let's talk about that. That was a really good combo. He held the high noon for the max duration. Reinforce was on his screen the entire time, so he pops at the last second. It destroys Reinforce's shield instantly, and then Coco pops the ult, the Earth Shatter. And there's like actually no way that his Earth Shatter misses. I don't know if Chipshijin needed to ult there on the Zenyatta. That was a little bizarre to me. I don't know what spooked him. That might have just been a fat finger, or maybe they were just going to use it anyway. Like they were just like, all right, guys, let's use Transcendence. But it might have been overkill. But the point is, like, they used the high noon to break the Earth Shatter, to break the Reinhardt shield, and then they Earth Shattered once the Reinhardt shield was dead. So it's just a very, very easy fight for EnvyUs. And the cart's still where it needs to be.
I mean, they have more than 3 minutes of time, technically, to win but they need to capture the next checkpoint to make this possible. And
So now Rogue's kind of up against the wall. Like,
Rogue to Diva.
they switched Aaron Hulk to Diva off of...
Maybe try to
I
dismantle
don't know what he was playing. I think it was on Reaper. I think Tailspin switched to Reaper. Yeah, they switched the Reaper player.
so far on this EnvyUs in terms of picking up kills. There's gonna be the death boss coming out to Vic, picks up the
Okay, this was cool. They didn't show it, but Tavik actually went... So, like, the arch is here. And there's, like, this hallway right here. And there's, like, this hallway right here. So, like, all of EnvyUs came around the corner and, like, pushed up into the archway. But then Tavik sneaks in from the back with Unco. And while they're pushing up with the tanky healers, he like comes in the back and just gets a Death Blossom on the 3 squishies. So like that was really good from him. They didn't show it in the camera, but that's what happened. So he wins the fight even though they're in a pretty hard position to push. He like completely removes, like the Diva's not anywhere near him, Coco's nowhere near him, and Tailspin's nowhere near him. So like him getting this Death Blossom off in the back just destroys their backline instantly. That was just a really good play. Like they weren't even looking that way. That's just like kind of sloppy, I guess. But since the car was so far back, I would expect EnvyUs to be able to put up a defense on the second checkpoint. Even if it might not be the best defense, it should still be a defense. And see, like they're gonna get back to this capture point with more than enough time. AKM is just a god in this matchup. There's just a lot of ults being used right now. Wins pops Black Hole. Just like try to secure the capture. It's good, I guess. They get a kill or two. But then AKM like gets a double kill with McCree, which means I think he high nooned from inside the black hole. Got 2 kills or a kill or 2, then instantly dies. Reinforces, I think Reinforce died too instantly. They must have just gotten dropped the beat, so he drops the beat after the black hole's over. I'm not sure how they lost AKM. But Rogue is just trying to end the map right now, so they're popping, since like they just killed Harry Hook, they killed Internet Hulk. Him popping, like Nox popping drop the beat right now is really good because it just gives them an extra push to end the map. You don't want to lose here. Like once the cart gets to this capture point, you really want to end it. Like Harry, like Nox pops drop the beat there just so they can deal with Tailspin, I guess, a little bit easier. Yeah, and that works out for them. Like Tavik killed Chipsogen and then he killed... I don't like this ult from Harry Hook. He gets the 3 of them, but now they're fighting 3v, like 3v4, 3v5, I think, because they're all there. Ooh, Tavik got bopped. That was a good play. But they just dropped the beat on 3 people into like 5 people, so like, and they didn't really have that much damage. Like, all they had was Timeo and Diva, like a McCree and a Diva. That's not really that much damage in terms of like killing 5 people at the same time. So... Chips headshot AKM, if I'm right. Oh, that's cool. Okay. But that was good. Like, Rogue just emptied the tank, right? Like, they dropped the beat, they dropped Black Hole, they dropped like everything. They're like, we're just gonna cap. And that's what they needed to do. And they did a good job of killing them one at a time, I guess, because it wound up like staggering their spawns. Tavik pushes in here. They get a little too cocky here. Harry Hook dropped the beat in the last fight, so they don't have that. Chipsogen also dropped the beat in that last fight, so they don't have that either. I think the play here is just pop a black hole and then pop Transcendence to keep your team alive, and then swing your Reinhardt through the black hole. Because there's no way that they can kill you, actually. Like, EnvyUs actually has nothing. Like, once that Diva ult came out, that was, like, all they had. So once that Diva ult's over, you just black hole the Diva, or you black hole their whole team and then you just swing Reinhardt at them. But they didn't do that, so it's a little. I mean, it is what it is, but I think they got too cocky here and it screws them up because they should have just plowed. Like this fight should have just been an easy win for them, but it wasn't because they didn't wait for the black hole. So now Wins is like, what the hell, guys? And he pops black hole, but half his team's dead. So even if they win here, they're not going to cap through the map. So like this is a mistake. If he had saved the black hole, it probably would have been better for them. But he like blows it here, and he's not going to get any kills because it's just him. And like every kill that he gets doesn't really matter because his team is still like spawning. Have you just sniped him? No, Chips just sniped him. They keep switching the camera. It's like mind-boggling. So Wins gets sniped by Chips from spawn with like a Zenyatta left click. But I didn't like that black hole because he did it when half his team was dead. And now EnvyUs is just going to trickle in with spawns. And they don't have any ults now, Rogue, to end the map. Like EnvyUs just got the ult economy back. That was a really bad Earth Shatter from Coco. I don't know what the plan was there. Like Timeout wasn't in a position to flashbang. But whatever, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they call him out here for missing. But he missed it. He didn't actually block it at all. I think he just whiffed. Tailspin's gonna get the high ground. Sub dudes. So they pop Transcendence here. Wins dies. I don't know what he died to. I guess he got headshot a few times because it doesn't look like they have enough damage because Tailspin definitely was not shooting Wins here. But so EnvyUs pops Transcendence, which is fine because like Rogue doesn't have any ults at this point, and they're just trying to like force the issue. But then Reinhardt or Reinforced actually gets a really good Reinhardt ult here, and it like slows down that whole push that they were pushing or that they were using. But Wins died, so like when Wins died, they should have probably just saved their ults because they're probably not going to win a fight without their Zarya. He hit a 2 or 3 man Earth Shatter Reinforced, but they didn't have any way to like capitalize on it. So now they're just down that as well. They're not using their ults well here. This is actually like they actually are just not playing the economy correctly.
To hold them back, and actually curious where Tailspin's going because he's going to be so instrumental. He's sitting on that corner yet again, but Tavik already knows.
So here comes the Dragon Blade with the drop the beat, and that's all they have.
Tailspin doing the same thing on the other side of the coin. Tavik gets 2 in the back line. Into that Hulk finally takes him down, but it might not be enough. EnvyUs now only with 2 players left. They're trying to keep this.
Is this monkey about to make a miracle play? He slowed down the cart for a little bit of time. Half of EnvyUs is alive, and half of EnvyUs has ult. So if Coco comes up huge here, it can be pretty devastating, actually. Ooh, that was a big Earth Shatter. Okay, I guess I see where people are saying that he was playing kind of questionably. He Earth Shatters the bubble here. The bubble's about to die. If he waited 0.3 seconds, 0.5 seconds, like if he wasn't trigger happy here, he would have gotten a 5-man Earth Shatter. Or close to it. Because they blocked the Earth Shatter with the bubble and the shield. So now that entire equation is just gone. Like look, alright, let's bust out the drawing marker again. So Reinforce is here, right? The bubble was like this. Coco's shield is blocking like this angle. Or like this angle, I guess. Like this is his shield. This is your Reinhardt, and you have your little barrier, right? And your little stick figure holding up your shield. So he has to look this way, right? Because he's afraid that Reinforce is going to drop his Earth Shatter this way. But then he uses it, right? And suddenly they don't even have to look in this direction anymore. Nobody has to look in this direction because they don't care about him. He's like useless now. He dropped his Earth Shatter and he's not going to contribute. So all of EnvyUs turns around all at the same time, actually, in this like one frame. Like I'm watching them all turn their cameras around because they don't care anymore. Reinforce is actually just, he's not a factor in this next team fight. So now, before there was Wins here, and there was, I think, Unco here, and I want to say AKM. Maybe Icam's like here somewhere or something now, maybe like rolled in. But there were 3 people shooting this way, and there was no way for them to block all that damage. But since he uses the Earth Shatter here, they don't even have to look backwards anymore. They can just all focus their attention to the back of the cart towards the rest of Rogue. So if they just waited like, I don't know, a second, or if he had just waited a second or two there, it would have been fine. But this kind of blows their push now because they popped Black Hole, they popped Earth Shatter, they popped Transcendence, they popped Drop the Beat. Tavik switched to Tracer. He switches to Tracer to end the map because he's like, all right, my team is in and I just died. So he's like, how do I get back to the fight fastest? So he switches to Tracer to try to finish out the map, but they're not going to finish out the map here because they didn't combo their ults correctly and they used ults incorrectly. So they have nothing now. Like this isn't, there's no ult here, no ult here, no ult here, nothing. And they still have Drop the Beat. High Noon's almost up. They're running a Monkey. Monkey doesn't really need ult to be effective. The Reinhardts are even, so they're still fine on that front. Transcendence is pretty even. Like, they don't have anything, you know? They just didn't combo well here. And it really comes down to that. But you see, like, they don't even care that Reinforce is back there. They're just like, alright, whatever, Reinforce.
A lot of big ultimates being burnt there from EnvyUs just to try and stay alive. And there's 1 minute remaining. If Rogue get the payload to the end of the map within that time, it will be 2-0. A score that no one thought they'd see today. Not in this match. No way.
This is Draw with Friends, or whatever that game is. That, like, Pictionary game on your phone. Why did Harry Hook drop the beat? Was he scared that they were going to lose that fight or something? That was actually pretty silly. I don't know why he dropped it. They had dropped the beat, but now they don't. So this defense is a little bit harder for them than it was. Slow them down. Now it's no ults versus no ults. The Zenyatas are even, the Lucios are not even, but neither Lucio should really get his ult off. I don't think that's the play. I don't like that play. I don't like him charging in that deep. Kind of leaves his team out to dry. And then here comes Taimu with the ult because they have no Reinhardt shield anymore. And when there's no Reinhardt shield, you're just gonna hit it. You know, like you're gonna hit your high noons if there's no Reinhardt shield. He's a little over eager here, and right there he dies without his team. It was over though. I mean, it was actually over.
Like you said during the cast, no one probably would have expected it out there. I don't even think Rogue would have expected something like that.
They could have won that for sure. But yeah, there were some mistakes made. I mean, it is what it is. They shouldn't have been in that position though, where they needed that combo to like win the fight. I think.
Precious minutes at the start of their attack. They're persisting with this Ana and Reinhardt combination.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, whatever, man. The Winston bubble could have came down instantly. I don't really remember. I just think that like he got a little overwhelmed at the end.
He focuses. I think he tunnel visions a little bit on just trying to do some damage, which obviously you're going to want to do as